Okay. I think we are live. This is a new episode of PC parts and the prices and the trends that are going on, the trends that will be happening. And I don't know, like I thought, well, this is interesting stuff. We're seeing sort of market shift in different ways. So many things are happening out there at the moment, and we're going to take a look at it, especially with the deals hunt that just happened. We can talk about what's going on in the market. Also, chat, hope you're cracking, hope you're popping. Let us know if the audio is good, because I have not live streamed in a long time, so I do not know if this is going to work that well. So do let us know straight away if there are some problems with the live stream. But hopefully this is a thing that you guys enjoy. Hopefully it's a thing that we can continue. But with that said, let's get into the first topic here, and that is new parts, right? We're going to talk about used parts, but also new parts in this stream, where I'm seeing some things happening, and I'm seeing some videos out there as well, where they're sort of like contradicting opinions. And that is like, we've got people saying, don't build a gaming PC right now. Then there's people saying, like Scattervault, for example, he made a really good video talking about why it's a really good time to build a gaming PC right now. I'm going to sort of be advocating on that and sort of talking about the trends, which the numbers here are showing that it is pretty much one of the best times to be building yourself a gaming PC, ladies and gentlemen. And that's because we'll start off with DDR3, but we've also got DDR4 RAM prices. These are the lowest we have ever seen these in like literally like history of DDR4 RAM prices. So when you've got this line like right on the screen here, hover the mouse over it, it's the lowest it's ever been. So if you're hanging out for Ryzen 3000 series, then a smart move would be to even get all your other components ready and accept the motherboard and the CPUs. Because there are some rumors floating around that some boards might not even support the new 3000 CPUs. So if that's the if that rumor is true, then yeah, you might need a new motherboard. So you don't want to go out and buy one now if you're gonna do it in anticipation of the new Ryzen CPUs. But we see here DDR4 RAM prices, lowest they've ever been. Absolutely incredible time to be picking that up, especially if we can contrast it to last year, where, man, a lot of people just didn't want to build a gaming PC because these prices were out of control. And that was coupled with the GPUs as well. When we had the cryptocurrency mining boom, that was just like going out of control as well. So we had those two factors, and just people weren't building gaming PCs. There was the rise of used parts. Tech Yes City's channel here had a massive boost because of the cryptocurrency mining situation. Also the DDR4 RAM prices. People were just going to use price performance wherever you looked. You look left, you're like, damn, someone building a used PC. Look right, someone building a used PC. Look straight in front of you, now there's someone building a new PC. So we'll look at some other prices as well. CPUs, Ryzen 5 2600. A good thing that I'm going to talk about with this CPU is that a lot of things have been happening here, and that is because the word of Ryzen itself, like AMD had a bad history with the FX CPUs. People were sort of like, sort of weary to go with AM3 build. But if we look at a Ryzen 5 build, for example, that's easily one of the most popular builds at the moment. Like, if I'm flipping a PC at the moment and I'm talking Ryzen 5 2600, 6-core in there, people kind of know what it is. People want that. Like, people aren't afraid to take AMD now. I haven't had really any questions of people like being worried about going with an AMD CPU. So the good word of Ryzen CPUs and their value on those CPUs is starting to get around. And so that is influencing purchasing decisions. And that stigma of not going AMD is sort of starting to go away, at least on the CPU side. This is sort of like real hustle from the streets, guys. And that's how I like to do it with my channel, you know. Out on the parts hunts, people meet up with us and it's like, oh man, it's Tech CD. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm just a normal dude, you know, doing the hustle straight to your door with the cash in hand. That's how it works sometimes. So we got the request for Xeons as well. We're going to talk about that after Ryzen 3000 comes out. We're going to have a lot of Xeon content. But in the meantime, is it a good time to build a new PC? The answer is definitely yes. And another reason we're going to go on to this is, also Nathan, thanks for the, Nathaniel, here's a baller. Thanks for the donation, brother. Also, shame you couldn't make the Avengers tonight. So yeah, I'm going to go see the Avengers later tonight. So no spoilers in the comments. This is like one of those movies where you just don't do spoilers, because like you can spoil Star Wars and all that stuff because like the tangent that Star Wars is going on. But this Avengers, man, whew, I can't wait for it. Just like hanging out for. I was like, what better to do a live stream before the new Avengers, and we'll go see that. But cheers for the donation, brother. Hope you're having a good weekend, or you're going to start to have a good weekend. But back to this new PC price, new PC prices. And we got the lowest the prices have ever been. So Ryzen 5 2600s are so cheap at the moment. We've got DDR4 SSD prices. Like, we look at SSD storage, lowest it's ever been. So 128 gigabytes. Look at that line. The line is like, we zoom in on that. Look at that line right there. It's the lowest it's ever been. We are at just an amazing time where all the components are just suggesting for you to build a new PC. Now, there's going to be that argument of, oh, wait for the Ryzen 3000 CPUs because they could be so much better. They could be, but the thing is, if you're just a gamer looking to get into PC gaming, even if the Ryzen 3000 CPUs are so much better, then how's that going to lift your GPU performance? Like, your graphics card's still going to be the part that is going to be giving you a good gaming experience. And if you're on a mid-range graphics card, like say for instance, you go for an RX 570 or you go for an RTX 2060 if you've got a bit more budget, Ryzen 5 2600 currently handles those graphics cards absolutely fine. And I mean, by the time you're ready to upgrade this gear, it's kind of like, you know, are you going to be like, oh, I'm going to save for 3 more years? Or I'm just going to build the PC now. Build the PC now. Enjoy it. And there's lots of these arguments going around where people are like, oh, just wait. And it's sort of like me as a PC gamer, man. I always wanted to play the games now. And I remember the one time I had, I did the whole wait thing. You know, like you buy a PC and you sort of wait with components for the other PC components to come out. Before the GTX 670 came out, right, here's a real story. I sold all my PC before that in anticipation of the GTX 600 series because rumors were it was going to be so good, that rah. But those 2 weeks that I had to play on Intel HD graphics, man, that was torture. Like, I just, man, my hair was falling out because, like, I tried to play World of Warcraft and I was getting like 12 FPS on the absolute lowest settings. And I remember at that stage, I was like, yeah, man, this graphics card better come out soon. I mean, maybe it was a good thing because I finally went outside a little bit more than I was used to going outside. But yeah, there's a story there about waiting for PC, you know, components around the corner. Now, on top of that, we're going to talk about the Navi series as well, because that's a big thing going around. People are like, wait for the Ryzen 3000 CPUs, wait for the Radeon, the new Navi GPUs. And it's like, man, you cannot. And I'm going to tell you guys, you're not going to get a better deal. Like, Navi is not going to be $86. Like, I'm in Australia, so the shipping costs are going to be like through the roof because this is on ebay.com. But you're not going to get a better deal than, sorry guys, Jody Baldwin, enjoy Endgame with a chalk top. Man, how did you know I love chalk tops? Sorry, I just got to stop this, dude. Chalk tops are so good, man. I'm definitely getting one. Thanks. Thanks for the donation, brother. I'm going to get 2 of them now. I just love chalk top ice creams. But going back to here with the RX 570, we've got $86 US for one of these cards. Sure, it's used, but how's Navi going to beat that in price performance? It ain't going to beat it in price performance. And another thing is, when we look at 1080p gaming, I mean, do you need to game on ultra settings? I mean, this card will do 1080p medium and high settings on practically every game out there. It is a really good price performance card. I remember when I started picking these things up in droves from miners, I was just like, wow, this is such good value for money. Now, we just finished doing the giveaway for the, it was actually 4 kids, and I gave one of the PCs to the school. We just finished that, and it was so good. Like, they all got RX 570s, all got 4th gen Intel's RGB bling. So stay tuned for that video. That's coming. But I also got a request to show you my thumb. It's actually coming along really nicely. So there's my thumb there. And it's like the scar's actually healing slowly, but it'll be a couple of years before it's like absolutely 100%. PC419 says, how's that been? I've been really good. Things have been going really good around Tech Yes City. Don't worry about that. I was like, how can we make things better? Do a live stream for you guys. We talk about PC price trends as well. So, you know, the RX 570s at the moment is easily the hottest card in the used market, as well as what looks like the new market. We go over to here, $130 new. Now, the GTX 1650 just came out, and this is the crazy thing about it, because people are talking about, oh, GTX 1650 is terrible value for money. It's look, I'm gonna say it's a disappointment in that you look at the 1050 Ti to the 750 Ti, that came out with double the VRAM, and you had a big chunk extra performance for that no 6-pin requirement. The 1650, it doesn't deliver much over the 1050 Ti. That's my biggest thing without even looking at it yet. I've got one here, but I just, like, honestly, I just haven't even been bothered to test it yet. Galax is sending over another one too, so I was like, 1650 is probably only worth one video at best. So I was like, yeah, I'll just make one video, and that's it for that. I kind of don't want to make any more videos on it, because it doesn't look like it's good price performance at all. And we're going to talk about that OEM situation, because, yeah, there's the argument of, oh, okay, you can whack a 1650 in an OEM and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be magical times. And it's like, I think the meta is shifting away from that, where if you get a OEM, most likely you're going to just gut the thing and take all the goodness out of it and put it in a nice new case with a decent power supply. So there's sort of like the metas are shifting away from that. And even then, you could face the problem of the 1650 not even being supported on that particular motherboard. I've got to talk to Bitwit, but I mean, he did a video. I recently looked at his video. It was really good, but he was really lucky that there was a BIOS update that actually worked to allow his 1650 to work. Because I've seen so many boards in the past with OEMs, they just don't boot with proper graphics cards. And after that, you're just stuck with a board that's essentially a dud. You can use it with like a GTX 580, because that'll support like legacy and all that secure boot options and stuff like that. But the thing is, there's no CSM options in the BIOS. There's no secure boot. So those boards are essentially useless. But getting back to here, we got here, right here, brand new RX 570, it's $130. I mean, brand new 1650, $150. If you're just looking at price performance, this one's a no-brainer. The 1066 gigabytes, 1050 Ti's, used market, they're still a good pickup. I mean, in my previous parts hunt, I mean, I'll probably put the link in the description after the live stream's over. I picked up one for like 100 Aussie dollars, 1050 Ti. It's an Asus model, really good. It's like 70 USD, so that's a really good buy. 1066 gigabyte, I got one for 180 Aussie, which is like 126 USD. Really good buy too. I do like the 1066 gigabyte. Still a pretty hot card, especially if you can get it for a good price. Some of these prices here on eBay, obviously these are buy it now prices if you couldn't be bothered. $160 is a little bit too steep. I mean, you'd like to see that around about 140. Then that'd be a decent pickup. But looking at the 1650, man, you can write that thing off, especially when the 1660, which offers so much more performance, is only another like $50, $60. You want to be getting that, because that is actually a decent card. So in terms of our poor little friend here, he ain't looking so good in terms of price performance. But also when AMD's actually going really hard on the RX 570. So there's this other argument. Now we're going to go into the price trends, right? Because people are like, in Australia, if you're in Australia, I've noticed one thing as well. We talk about RTX 2070s and 2060s. These have gone up slightly in price. I was picking these up for around 100, I think it was like 700 Aussie dollars. Now, even on eBay sales, you're getting them a bit cheaper. Oh man, this site's so bad. Apparently they're redoing it. Close that down. But okay, RTX 2070s, they're going for about 700 retail. Now they're up to about 720. So that time when I made that eBay video was a really good time to buy new parts, especially those higher end parts. I mean, we had RTX 2080s going in Oz for like $860. I picked one of them up. Such a good buy at those prices. But in terms of innovation, and there's this argument before we move on with prices and trends and stuff like that, right? Especially with graphics cards, video cards. We'll go over here to video cards, analyze this for you guys. There's this trend with, NVIDIA releasing RTX 2070s, 2060s and all this, and like, hey, they're stagnated. And there's people who say, look, AMD is not providing enough competition in the graphics card market. Look at what they did in the CPU market. Intel responded. Very valid argument, but there's also the argument of if AMD doesn't provide the competition, then people are going to go away. And like NVIDIA is going to grab the ball and just run with it and say, hey, we can charge whatever we want. And that's like, that argument would be valid if our good old friends at Intel weren't coming into the GPU market. And that's what I've said in the past. Whenever there's too much of an opportunity to make money, you're going to see a bigger fish come in to the forte. And that's exactly what Intel's doing next year. Obviously, they've weighed up their cost analysis and they're like, hey, great time to get into graphics cards. And that's what's going to happen next year. Now, one thing that does worry me about this whole scene, right? And we see like guys like Adore TV doing some analysis, man, they're going hard on it. But one thing they don't talk about is that they're doing like a lot of it's technical analysis. Now, technical analysis shouldn't be a predictor of future performance. And so we've seen with graphics cards in the past, when we look at the 9 series to the 10 series, massive jump. But now we've seen the 10 series to the 20 series, and there isn't that massive jump. So like you can see already that the fallacy there is, oh, should you've waited to buy a 20 series card if you got a 10 series card? And the answer is no. If you got a 10 series card, you're on top of the world. Even to this date, you got some good value there, even if you bought it new off the shelves. So what I'm really worried about with the GPU market is stagnation, just like the CPU market, where we saw that Sandy Bridge came out, and then ever since Sandy Bridge, it was just like, whoa, what is going on here? We didn't get a whole lot of innovation. Now we're sort of seeing more cores and more threads, but we've really come to a brick wall when it comes to IPC and also single core performance, which are still so damn important to this day. So that's sort of like the trends going on now. Now, used market. We got to talk about the used market, because there's some people who are emailing me and they're like, Brian, man, I can't sell my gaming PC. And this is from guys from Scotland, UK. I've got guys in the US. So I am seeing some trends. There's a lot more people trying to sell used PCs, getting into the hustle. And it's funny because a lot of these PCs, we're creating a new market in itself, right? It's a growing market, but at the same time, there's more competition. I'd say exponentially more competition coming in than there are buyers. So there's more sellers than there are buyers. And that's growing and growing, right? And so a lot of these PCs are coming in and that would otherwise honestly just go into the tip and get melted down for materials, or they'd be off the market. They're now coming back into the market via a gaming PC. So you've got this big flood of competition now. Where I'm from especially, this is the pinnacle of the world. Southeast Queensland, this place, we've got to address this, because there's guys just spamming gaming PCs left, right, and center. You go on Gumtree, type in gaming PC, boom, man, you're gone. Actually, we might as well do it. Actually, nah. We'll leave it off because I don't want to show any personal details and stuff like that. Go on Facebook, gaming PC, same thing. Boom, spam, absolute flood. So if you can't sell your gaming PCs and you've done the whole checklist, you've gone through the whole checklist of, yep, good photos, good description, you're offering a warranty, whether it even if it's 3 months, you've got everything looking schmick and you can't sell it still, that's because it's a tough market now, man. There's a lot of competition out there, but also at the same time, there's I think this is like going into economics a little bit, guys, with trends. Hey, but since this is the episode of trends, we'll talk about it. I believe we're starting to go into a global recession, and that's a scary thing. So who knows? Anyway, that's it from this episode, guys. If you are enjoying this, we can go more in depth, and this is all going to come from you guys, the topics. I love talking about this stuff. I love talking about the market, building PCs, everything involved, new prices, new trends. We want to kind of be the trendsetters here. You guys in the audience have great minds. You're always telling me some of these delos. I've got some really good metas coming. I'm just waiting on it to come in from AliExpress. There's a really good build coming in, and I can't wait to give you guys that. It's going to be special, but waiting on, man. Some of these AliExpress sellers, dude, like, and it's not AliExpress, actually eBay sellers too. I've ordered these connectors, right? And if it was meant to be like male to female audio converters, and they're sending me the opposite ones 4 times in a row. So I've got like 40 of these connectors that are useless and I don't need them. And it's like eBay's like, you do a refund. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'll do a refund the whole amount. I don't need this crap because it's not what I ordered. Anyway, that's all. So we're going to address the comments. The biggest one I see is like Peter Jordan. He's going, YouTube reviewers are biased because of all the free cards they get. Yeah, man, you obviously haven't been watching this channel long enough, dude. Take a look at MSI's laptop. That came through. I did a review. I was good friends with Eula, the MSI rep. Do you think that was a good review for them? No. I reviewed that thing through and through. You know why? My viewers, the core audience who don't just stick around and write crappy comments like yours, actually stick around for a long time and know that I don't put bias or any of that crap in the word review. And a lot of other tech tubers out there are the same, man. We don't really care about spinning bias. We care about our viewers and our loyalty. And we care about doing the right thing. So yeah, you can spin that crap in the comment section there, Mr. Jordan. But that ain't going to go down well. Not around Tech Yes City. Anyway, any other questions, guys, you want to address? Then we shall address them. Because I'm gearing up for, we're going to have an epic feed very soon. And then go see the Avengers Endgame, man. I can't wait. So MSI, oh man, something, I can't comment on that, bro. So he's a troll. Okay, so we're going to go to live. We're going to go to the comments now. Just answer a few comments. Then I'm going scoot on out of here. I'm going to put my sponsored Corsair hoodie on and yeah, jump on out of here. And it's actually funny, speaking of the Corsair, right, the H15i RGB Platinum, there's an example, right, of a review that I got that product in, and people were like, oh man, you're a shill. And no, I just love the H115i RGB Platinum cooler. And it's funny because all the people who've bought it, I even had one guy in the comments on that video like, man, I bought this thing, it was just blown away by it. And I was like, yeah, that's my initial reaction too. It was a really good cooler. Sure, it's expensive, and I said that in the video. But that's how it goes, man. That's how reviews go. So what happened to my thumb as well? I was working on a Alienware PC case, and see, things around here, man, this is the problem with Tech Yes City sometimes. I'm always looking for the most efficient way to do things. Like yesterday from 1 p.m., we just banged out 5 PCs so quickly. This is for the giveaway. But I just work so quickly, man. I got my automatic screwdriver. I've got all these tools that just save time now, and the efficiency is just through the roof. But the problem is, when the efficiency is through the roof, you sometimes have a slip up. And yeah, I cut my finger on this PCIe bracket when I should have used a pair of pliers. I was just like, yeah, I'll rip it out. But I obviously applied too much strength. And yeah, man, that was the worst I've ever had it. Like, that's out of building PCs, that's easily the worst accident I've ever done. It could have been a lot worse, man. So that's, sometimes that's how it goes. I'm just grateful I still got my thumb. So the screwdriver itself, will do a shameless plug for Bunnings, since I do love this screwdriver. It's the Ozito, but I've got a custom extended head on it. So I just bought that for $5, and it's saving so much time. That and the DataVac, man, they're just like two tools that I couldn't live without now, because they save so much time, as well as the chemicals. We've got, the multi-purpose spray, the brake cleaner. Brake cleaner's not getting used as much as I'd like to, but alcohol wipes are just through the roof good as well, man. I'm actually out of alcohol wipes, and I got to go buy some more, like a few bottles of them, man. So, got to get some alcohol wipes. They're super important as well. So maybe if you guys want to see an updated Tech Yes cleanse list, I can do that for you guys. Make that happen, sure thing. And just the cleanliness is godliness. So you got to be hygienic, man. You got to take care of those used PCs as well. They got feelings. So they got feelings. If you don't take care of them, they're gonna haunt you. So anyway, chat. Any other juicy questions? Anything you really need answered, and I'll get out of here. Another 5 minutes of chat, then I'm gonna scoot. So, do you think it would be worth putting Ryzen 3000 CPUs and B350 motherboard? Concerned that I won't get full performance out of the chip. We don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I'm sure it will be a good thing. Like, I'm sure dropping a Ryzen 3000 6-core or whatever, that'll be a good combination, since they are going to go down to 7 nanometer, going to be way more power efficient. So that will be obviously a better thing on the motherboard. The motherboard's got less stress. But how high they clock, everyone's waiting for these details, man. I'm going to be at Computex on that showroom floor telling you guys the deets day one. But we can see some trends with it, and the trends are, like, we look at Ryzen 2000, Ryzen 1000, we look at CPUs like Intel CPUs, with the 9th gen series, we can see with the overclockable chips that are overclockable are already reaching their sort of maximum peak in terms of what they can do on air and water. Like, you can't extract a whole lot more performance. That's what I'm finding. Like, 9900K out of the box goes to 4.7 gigahertz, but you'll be lucky to get them above 5 gigahertz. Same with the Ryzen, was it 2700X, right? You get them, they go up to, I think they go like to 4 gigahertz out of the box. Getting them past 4.2 is pretty difficult. So you can see that those margins are coming down, but if we look at an old school i7 920 or something like that, man, those things overclock like 50%. So you see some trends coming in. What you see from AMD at Computex is going to be kind of close to what you can edge out on these chips. That's just my feeling. So I'm looking forward to those announcements more than anything. So we'll quickly answer some more questions for you guys. Do you use WD-40 on my hair? Man, that's actually a good idea. I'm going to try that out, and I'll maybe post up a quick vid on Instagram or something like that. Try out some WD-40 on the hair. If it's good enough, I'll even put it in the videos. We'll get on some other questions though. Those $1 LED strips selling my PCs left and right. Exactly, man. I'm like, this is the thing, right? Some of these tips that I give you guys on the channel, man, it's all real. I got nothing to hide, If I can't make any more money out of this gig, bro, I'll move on to something else. Like, not afraid to do line marking. Got a mate who does that. I got people who take care of us, man. It's a good world, just spread the good vibes. Keep on hustling, keep doing what you're doing best. So this is what it's all about. This channel, I want to keep it more community orientated, especially since I got back from the USA. I was like, damn, like I need to focus on, everyone's just talking about it. No one talks about the new stuff to me. Everyone just talks about the used price performance, how they're building PCs. And I'm like, yeah, that's where the channel's got to go. More of a focus than ever before. Sure, we'll look at some new parts, but the new parts are going to exist to compare about how good the used market should be and where the used market should be at. So they balance each other out though. I'm just the what would you call it? I like to be the guy on the dark side or the light side. What would you call the used side? Because I think there's this sort of like these factions, I think we're on the used side here. So yeah, Molex connectors on the LED strips. The good thing, like, be surprised. Like, people hate Molex, but like Molex connections are really good. So yeah, they're just easy to build, like on cheap builds, right? So you just put your LED strip down, plug it into Molex. You don't have to do anything else for cable management, anything like that. It saves a lot of time. So that's why I kind of like it. SATA is even better. But anyway, I'm going to scoot on out of here, guys. If you've got more questions as well, just be sure to drop a comment after the live stream goes like video archive mode, and I'll get back to you guys in the comments. So lots of cool questions. Thanks for joining in on this live stream, guys. Let us know if you enjoy it, and we'll keep it going once a month, just after the parts hunt, because one thing I've realized with the parts hunt, once a month, you guys are loving that. I think it's a good balance. I kind of wanted a live stream as well, just to connect with you guys a little bit more, get back onto live streaming, because I haven't live streamed for so long. It's been ancient. And people, like, every time I get a co-host, they either just, they do a ghosty on us, or they're too busy, or 1 week it's just not consistent enough. So I'm like, all right, well, we'll do a live stream once a month where I just do it myself, and that way it's going to be consistent. So who knows? Anyway, love each and every one of you guys. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to tap that like button, and no spoilers, no endgame spoilers. I'm going to go see it soon, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. This is the PC parts prices, Triple P purchasing parity price. That's like kind of what I wanted to get at, so, that international thing. And this is what it's going to kind of resemble, but for PC parts. All right, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace out for now. Bye.